Hello and welcome back to this moon messages reading. So this is going to be your moon energy reading from the full moon in Pisces on the 7th of September till the new moon in Virgo on the 21st of September. I do apologise on the last moon messages. If you watched it, I did actually give the wrong details of the full moon. I said in Aquarius, but that was Google not getting it right for me. So or me not reading it properly, one or the other. Let's not just blame Google. Right, if you are new to my channel, all my details are down below. I do these readings every 2 weeks on the full moon and the new moon, and I offer personal readings as well. So if you're interested in that, all my details are down below. A couple of things. First thing is, I have started this reading without. I normally put a little bit of a face on. I normally make myself a little bit more presentable and put makeup on and all that. And it's not just for the viewers. It's not just to kind of, you know, make people think I'm beautiful or whatever. It's to make me feel good as well, and to make me feel more confident, because that's why I wear makeup. I don't wear that much anyway, but I put a little bit on just to make me feel a little bit more, I don't know, fresh and upbeat and feel good about myself. Now, I haven't done that this time. I just went over my hair briefly, but I didn't put any makeup on. And I feel a bit like, ugh, right? And the reason I'm sharing this is because I've just done the spread. I've just shuffled the cards, asked for the guidance, got all the cards in front of me, and the energy is just, ugh. Like, it really is. Like, you probably want to turn off now. No, I would encourage you to watch, because there could be a really important message here for you. But I'm just with the energy of it, and I think either the people who are watching it in that mode and, you know, not feeling it, maybe feeling a bit meh. But let's see if this helps you in any way, because I feel like I still need to do it, right? I still need to push through it and still need to be in it, and not turn off and go and put some makeup on and change the cards, right? We're not going to change it. We're going to be with it. So let's see how this can help you, okay? Right, so the first two cards that came out were Peace and Self-Reflection. So without knowing that energy at this point, because after this card is when it started to get a little without knowing that energy before, you start in a place of peace and self-reflection. Maybe you have been through a period where you've had to contemplate things, you've had to take some time for yourself, and do you know, that is generally when things start coming to the surface and start making you feel a bit rubbish. Now, I've had this experience happen so many times in my life. It's happening around me with other people at the moment as well, and all I can say is it's normal, it's natural, right? So let's use an example. When you take some time off work, when you have holiday, how often have you found that as soon as you rest, you get ill, right? You get a cold, you get the flu. You plan something and then you can't do it because you're ill, and that's because your body has been on autopilot this whole time, and you've been pushing through everything that you naturally feel deep down. You've been keeping yourself busy, you've been doing stuff, you've just been like in your mind, you've been distracting yourself with all these different things, right? The moment you actually stop and you give yourself that time, your body wants to release all of that stress. It wants to release all the tension, release everything that you've been keeping held in your body. And you need to allow it, which is why I said we need to do this reading still. We need to allow it, right? It doesn't feel good, doesn't feel pleasant. No one wants to get ill, no one wants to feel crap, right? But you need to allow it, because if not, it will just stay there and it will get worse, and the next time round your flu symptoms will be worse, right? So same with feelings, same with mental health, same with trauma, same with anything. If you keep it buried, it's going to fester and it's going to get worse. So you need to let it come to the surface, and you need to let it release. The only way you can let it release is to accept it and be with it and honor it and give space to it and rest and okay. Be aware of it and be like, okay, you're here, we're going to allow you. Okay, So give yourself peace, give yourself that time, give yourself that self-reflection, that awareness, that understanding, the empathy, the compassion, the space, okay? Next two cards are boundaries and realization. Realization card was in reverse. I'm just going to see what that brings through. But the boundaries card's quite simple. That is to honor yourself, your space, by saying no to things. So say for instance you do have a period of time where you are resting, you're giving yourself that self-care, that time off work, that break, right? And you're being with yourself, and then someone tries to, I don't know, take you out of that. Someone says, oh, you know, let's go on a party weekend, right? And you're like, and you're tempted because maybe you're that sort of person. Maybe you've been a partier. Maybe you do that as a distraction. Maybe you just love partying. That's fine. But for now, you know that it's not right for you. You know that it's not good for your health. You know that you need to take care of yourself. Now, you could easily just go, yeah, okay, and let that happen, and then you feel worse afterwards. Or you can say no, and you can set those boundaries, and you can say no, I'm going to say no this time. I need to look after myself. I need to save money. I need to rest. I need to prioritize something else, right? Prioritize me, or prioritize whatever else you're planning on doing, okay? So those boundaries are going to really help with this. And remember that you need to say no, you need to create those pockets of time for you and protect yourself in whatever way you can. Realization card is in reverse. I'm not really sure why it's in reverse, because to me, it says that you're going to, like a normal realization card would be like you're going to realize something about yourself. You're going to have a huge realization with this, right? The moment you look after yourself and have boundaries. There is the word unclear coming through. So maybe there's something still not going to be clear. And I think it's the rest of the message, the rest of the reading is going to help with this. So at this point, you're not going to be clear why you're setting boundaries. You're not going to be clear what's going on for you. You're not going to be clear why you're feeling so rubbish, okay? But let's go on to the next card. So the next card we have is focus. Now this is, if you're unclear, if you're not getting clarity on something, you need to focus, right? You need to focus on what's going on. You need to pay attention to what's going on in your body, what's going on in your mind. Focus on you, and focus on your well-being, and focus on what's important to you, your priorities. Keep with that. You know, if you promise yourself something, you need to stick to your promises. If you have said, I'm going to do this, you need to stick to it. And the more you focus on that, and the more you prioritize that, things will start to become clear. The next two cards are this is where I started to feel a bit right? When you focus on things, right, I'm going to give an example with this as well. So say for instance, for so many years you've been blocking loads of trauma, right? Or you've been blocking something that's going on for you, and you've been ignoring it, you've been pushing it away. Now I did talk a little bit about this briefly in the car video. I do these little mini videos. There is actually one on YouTube, but I also do them on Instagram and TikTok. Did briefly touch on this yesterday, that where was I going with that? Oh goodness, well-being, yeah, focusing on your well-being, things you're pushing aside, right? So if you've been pushing something aside for so many years or months or days or whatever, I'm talking about years here, I feel, and then you suddenly put loads of focus on it, you go to therapy, right? Let's say you go to therapy and you talk to your therapist about stuff. Now, when you talk about that stuff, it's all going to come up here. It's all going to be laying on the surface, and it's going to feel rubbish because it's right there. It's right there in front of you. It's not going to feel good. But when it's here, you have a choice. You can either allow it to release and leave, or you can push it back down. If you want to feel much better, and you want to move forward, and you want to have much better mental health, physical health, all of that, you need to be with that darkness, that void, right? So the next few cards are darkness and void, right? So you might go through this darkness and void period. But as I say, in order to shift it, you need to be with it. You need to understand it. So treat it like it's a little child within you that is crying, and you're trying to understand why it's upset. And this might sound a bit out there if you're not used to this type of work. I do a lot of inner child work and healing and everything. So if you're not used to this, then, you know, bear with me. But treat it like it's a little child within you. You can even visualize that if you're a visualizer. Treat it like it's crying and you want to understand it and you want to just hear it out. You know, why are you crying? What's up? Like, maybe talk to yourself, maybe just be with that. And try and understand, as I say, empathize with it, be compassionate with it. You might actually start getting some memories come up. You might start getting, you might want to talk to someone about it and hash it out, or write about it, journal about it. When you do that, things will become clearer and you'll understand yourself on a much deeper level. And when someone is really heard and seen, they feel better, right? You feel supported, you feel loved, you feel like someone actually cares about you. And you might need that from an external source. But if you don't have the money or you don't want to do that because it can be expensive, you know, or if you don't have someone in your life who can do that for you, who you trust enough, do it yourself. Be your own therapist. As I say, journal about it. Just talk to yourself. Give yourself that time. Just ask the questions that need to be asked and listen and just see if anything comes up for you. And then empathy and compassion is an amazing, amazing tool for healing and releasing. This is full moon energy, right? So the first part of the reading is always full moon, well, not always. In this one, it's full moon energy. Full moon is about releasing, okay? Letting go of things that don't serve you. Maybe this is deeper stuff that needs to come up and be released during this full moon. The next card is Keep Your Heart Open. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit better, a little bit more colourful. Sun's coming out, right? The light is coming in. And that is when you start to give yourself empathy and compassion and listening to yourself and honouring yourself. When you're creating boundaries for yourself, you're honouring yourself. You're listening to yourself. You're saying, no, this is not right for me. I need to take care of myself. And it's important for me now. I'm being reminded of aching, right? I've got aching back right now. I'm being reminded of aches and pains. This is something I talked about yesterday in my little reading as well. I've got something in my eye. Ugh. When your body aches and gives you ailments and pains, and it's giving you a signal. It's telling you, pay attention to me, you need to do something about it, right? For so long I've had issues with my shoulders, with my back. Now what my body is telling me is, exercise, look after yourself better, stretch, walk, swim, do all these things, get a new pillow, get a new mattress, right? It's telling me all these things. Now if I didn't listen to those, it would just get worse. It's the same thing. By giving yourself that attention, by doing those things for yourself, you are keeping your heart open to yourself. You are giving yourself love, self-love, right? And yeah, so it's just about opening your heart to yourself, this card. Next two cards are Release Control and Release Your Blocks. Now it was in reverse, but I don't actually feel to read that in reverse. This is quite a strong card. I feel to read it upright. I think this is maybe, because it's in reverse, it might be you being negative to releasing certain blocks. So you might have a bit of resistance in releasing things that you're used to, or you have got familiar with, or that feel like it's your comfort zone, right? So that's probably why it's in reverse. But I feel to focus on the releasing blocks, so really not listening to those thoughts, not listening to those the parts of you that want to hold on. Yeah, when I get a croaky throat, it's things that people are struggling to communicate, like, or listen to, or, you know, they want to say something and it's not coming out. It's like, yeah, you're not really listening to yourself, or you don't want to hear it, or something like that. And it's normally ear stuff, but throat stuff is like communication. So whatever you're hearing, someone's communicating to you, and you've got a block there. Okay. Anyway, release control and release your blocks. Release control is about what you're trying to control. Now that makes sense with what I just said. So you're trying to control this. You're like, oh no, I can't get a new mattress because I can't afford it. I can't do exercise because I don't have the energy. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, I don't know, whatever you're doing instead, right? I can't think of an example right now, but you're making excuses for yourself, which is you think you're in control of the situation, but actually you're not, because you're still having the same issues. You're still having the same patterns come up. If it's an emotional thing, if it's something about relationships, if it's something about self-criticism, you're still having those patterns come up, the habits that you're still doing, the aches and pains you're still having, the same problems in your life, you're still having those coming up because in some way you're trying to control those, and you're trying to hold on to those beliefs that you have that things are actually going to improve on their own, or they're going to improve by what you're doing. Are they improving? Probably not. So try something new. Try opening your mind to different things. Try listening to yourself more. Try, just seeing a different perspective. Okay. Someone's still not happy with that. Okay, next card we have is attend to the details. Exactly what I just said, right? Look at the details. Look at the situation. Just look at what's actually happening and ask yourself, is this working? What can I try instead? How can I think differently? And then the last card is breathe through the tension. Now, interestingly, I went onto that card quite quickly. I've just noticed that. I normally stick with these cards I've moved on quite quickly to that. Someone didn't want to sit with that. They didn't want to look at the details. Maybe, okay, the show me bank account. This is interesting. So maybe it's related to money. This could be anything, right? It's not just health. This could be related to money. So if you are someone who has issues with their money right now, and you're not looking at your bank account, you're avoiding it, you're pushing it aside, right? And it's actually causing you a lot of stress, a lot of worry. Maybe you've got debts, maybe you're well in your overdraft, and you're just not looking at it. The more you resist, the more things persist. Okay, so unfortunately, it's just going to keep happening. If you keep avoiding it, money's going to avoid you. It's the way that works. It's the way that energy works with money. So attend to the details. Look at your bank account. Look at what exactly is going out and coming in, and see if there's anything you can tweak there. The moment you give attention to something, and awareness and acknowledgement, and you listen and you see and you hear and you understand someone or something, things improve. Because like I said before, it's the same as human interaction. If someone can really see you and hear you, you feel cared for, you feel loved, that's when things shift. Same with money. I know it sounds weird, but money is energy. We are energy. So if you show love to your bank account by actually seeing what's actually happening with it and listening to it and see, no, it sounds weird, but things will start to improve. So attend to the details. Right, now I'm going to go on. Then the last card is breathe through the tension. So you're going to notice all that money, right? You're going to go, oh my God, oh, I can see it now, and like it's awful. And all this stuff has come to the surface and you're very aware of it. Breathe through it. It's just something that's actually it's just happening, right? Just, I just felt to give a really big breath of that, because the moment you actually are with it is the moment that you can change it. And that can give you a bit of confidence. It can give you, what do I want to say? It might give you a bit more motivation to do something, but it's not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a certain word or phrase. Kind of like motivation. It gives you the motivation to do something about it. I'm going to leave that one. I can't think of what I'm trying to say. I'm sure you can follow though, right? So just be with it, breathe through it, and then take the next step and the next step and the next step in what you're guided to do, because you will be guided to do the next step. Okay, once you start that process, you can only move forward, hopefully, anyway. Okay, now I usually do a crystal of the moon cycle, but I actually felt to leave that because this reading's going to be very long if not. And also it was the energy of, ugh, I can't be bothered. So maybe you're still in that energy. Hopefully this has helped you a little bit. It's helped you kind of feel a bit more understood as to where you're at. And like you say, why did I say that? Like I say, when someone actually is with you in that, it makes you feel better. So be with yourself in that as well. And that will make you feel even more better. Oh my God. Oh, I'm getting out of this energy. It's not great. I'm going to shake this off and move on with my day. Anyway, I hope that helps and supports you. And if you do want to book a personal reading with me, all my details are below. Or contact me on social media. Do follow me on my other platforms as well. Trying to build my channels and help more people, support more people. So yeah, thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.